we all know we're all gonna die. Like we're all gonna pass away. It's gonna happen, right? We just don't know when. So you man are okay with it. Just you, once you're dead, that's you done, forgotten.
No, I can't communicate with
No, I'm saying like, I'll speak to my grandma about like history and all that stuff. But like, speaking to back,
so I'm contacting spirits.
Yeah. No, you're not contacting.
I'll get spooky, man.
You're making it worse. It's not like contacting spirit. But
why
you
not? Contacting.
Wait.
Yeah, with my ancestors.
But your ancestors aren't here though. Your ancestors.
They don't need to be here.
So who are you contacting?
But you know what? They might have some wisdom that they can.
Do you know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying?
I tell you,
all that wisdom. Listen, I'll go to God for that wisdom. Also, how do you know you're talking?
So when do you think? So wait, when you say that, where do you think your ancestors is then? Where do you think they are?
Huh?
So that means your man, you don't think they're with God?
It might be.
These man made you hate your people, you know. These man came and colonized you, and now they're saying, no, your ancestors are witchcraft. It's not like
I'm not saying it's witchcraft. All I'm saying is,
but you are saying that though.
Not necessarily.
All
I'm saying is, how do you know even the ancestors you're contacting are actually ancestors? Because a lot of people, what they try and do, all this, and I'm not trying to compare the ancestral communication, whatever,
it's fine.
to all these people that are doing chakras and whatnot. Yeah. But when you think about all these people that are using these rocks and these stones and whatnot, they're literally, it's like, it's demonic stuff that they're doing. Do you know what I'm saying? And with a lot of these demons, the way a lot of these things work, like, you know these shows where they get like these mediums and they say, oh, someone is telling me something about What these demons will do, they'll go and, like, when you're practicing with all these stones and numbers and all that sort of stuff, bro, that spirit is there living with you. And then you don't think that same person, that same medium who practices stuff at home says, oh yeah, let me contact that demon that has been living with my man or whatever in the crowd and just tell me all the information. So it seems like I'm actually talking to their great-great-grand or whatnot. And that's how people just allow themselves to
questions. No, you gotta tell me. You gotta ask some questions.
Listen, if I want to hear about my ancestors...
but you don't know this person. What type of questions are you asking?
No, but you gotta be able to tell me, like, my grandmother, what's the name of this? What's the birthday of this? What did Rara say to you?
I don't believe in all them.
But I feel like you're looking too deep into it.
I'm talking about like...
No, but it's a deep thing.
Exactly.
Like, it's deep.
You want knowledge, but you're saying it's not that deep.
Do you know what my problem is? Yeah, is this, right? What I've grown not to try to do too much. Because the older I'm getting, the honest truth is I'm starting to realize that we don't have the answers.
No.
Yeah.
The older that I'm getting, I'm coming to realize that. And because of that, I'm always kind of like trying to reserve my judgment on things that I don't understand.
Which is
so essentially what I just try to do is, what are my beliefs? What makes me feel more connected? Yeah. And like, obviously I'm a Christian. I believe in God, all of that other stuff. So for me, I'm gonna try my best to get as closer to that faith as much as I can and get more contact as I can.
100%.
But I've stopped now. Try to be like, oh, that person there's practicing witchcraft. And then a lot of it goes back to some of the stuff you were mentioning, because so much of our identity and who we are has been hidden and been hidden away from us for so long. The fact that way before even my great grandmother or my great granddad was born, things have been hidden from us. So really and truly, we don't know. Nobody can tell me right now that I know for a fact. Nobody can, because nobody ain't died and come back.
What type of knowledge are you trying to find out though?
No, for me, no, it's not about knowledge. Remember, I didn't say nothing about me trying to find knowledge. I said the older I'm getting, I've refrained from trying to judge others when they're based on things that I don't understand. If they're doing that, that's them over there. This is what I'm doing over here type thing, innit? That's what I'm saying.
Which makes sense. But what I'm saying is, so like, when you say a lot of the stuff that is our history has been hidden, and obviously it's because, you know, when... colonization happened. A lot of things were destroyed. People, you know, people's identities.
I think they still got it. Trust me. I think there's somebody somewhere they've got our history
in some sort of government lockup.
Wherever
100%,
it is, I believe
most
that.
likely. What I'm saying is, even still, you know, things can still be historically flawed. So if you want to go back to like your actual tradition and, you know, trace your roots and say, oh no, this is what my ancestors were doing, it can still mean that, you know, maybe ancestors were still doing bad stuff or they were doing good stuff or whatnot. I'm not gonna say for everyone doing that medium stuff, oh, you guys are bad. Look, it's the same way. You guys do whatever you want. I'm gonna stick to what I think I know is best for me, and in terms of my spiritual practices and where I incline myself and whatnot.
What you do now, where did you get that from? Because I've always believed that when you're born, you're kind of like, to a degree, a clean slate, innit? Yeah. And you're put onto a path either by the parents that are raising you or your
what you see
environment
growing
or
up,
wherever
yeah.
it might be, right?
Yeah.
So what's put you onto the path you're on?
Me personally, I grew up in church, and until I was
How did you get into church?
my mum.
Exactly.
And-
So you've been put onto your path by your mum, isn't it? So the point I'm
Partly.
making is when you look back to your ancestors, whoever it might be, these are people who were before us. Because there's a thing that you're always saying, you go back for answers. How was things done back then? What it was, and you learn from that. Obviously, you can do away with certain things that you can believe like now doesn't apply or is flawed, innit? Like you said. But I don't think you can say, oh, everything they were doing there was totally.
Oh, no,
I think
no,
you can definitely
100%.
learn something from
Yeah,
that.
you can definitely learn. But what I'm saying is, whilst you learn, you also have to discern. Because you need to understand, sometimes when you're learning things, don't just take it as Bible and say, okay,
Facts.
you know, just because I've read this
I
online
agree.
about my people and whatnot, I'm going to take that. You kind
agree.
of have to take it and then think, okay, cool. The context of when these practices were done and why they were done. Okay, cool. Now I understand why they were done. Would I still do the same things in order to achieve the same goals that they were doing now? Why wouldn't I? So that's why you have to, when you're doing all this sort of like ancestral digging, you have to discern what is actually
What can
good
apply and what can't.
and what isn't good.
No, I
Do you know what I'm
agree.
saying?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I totally agree.
I hear it.
No,
man.
I agree.
I think my main thing is just I feel like we're always quick to shoot down our culture.
Yeah.
100%.
And like we're always quick to call
Facts.
stuff witchcraft. When you look at some of the stuff the Catholics do, but it's a bit mad.
Bro,
Yeah, like,
It's a bit mad.
Speak on
I
it,
grew, I,
please.
grew, I grew up in a Catholic
facts.
school, bro.
Okay, so you know, like
And so did we.
walking
We went
around
to
with
Catholic
that
school.
stuff, and you know, is it mad? I don't even know what they call it. They're walking around, they're chanting, they're doing Hail Marys, brother. It's a bit mad.
the Hail
Yeah.
Marys and like what's it called? The rosaries.
The rosary, yeah.
That stuff. Looking back on it, I'm like,
It's a bit mad.
and then like you got is it kiss or? I think you have to. Is it St. Peter?
So
or something
each
like
of
that?
the
Yeah,
thing stands for. There's a prayer for each of the
Yeah.
rosary beads.
And
I
then when
think
you're
about
when you're
it.
leaving the church, you have to. There's usually like a
The saints, yeah.
a statue of like St. Peter or something.
Yeah,
you have to have
yeah.
a touches.
There's
foot or
different
kiss.
saints, yeah.
Something
like-
I can't remember what it
Bro, it's a
is.
bit mad.
What
even
church
like-
do you go to now? What type of church?
I can't lie to you. I don't even know the denomination, but I know they support Christ.
You
So
know
that's
the
praise
what-
support.
God.
Okay, alright.
So I think about it, even like
like
going into a booth and confessing to a vicar like he's God. Like, vicar, I did this, I did that.
You know,
What's that about, bro?
I
It's
low-key
like
hear it,
therapy,
though.
no?
I low-key
It's
hear
like
it.
therapy.
Nah,
like
it
speaking
may
to
be
someone.
like therapy, but he's not God. Why does he have the power to forgive you, bro?
No, but it's usually
Because
someone older than you, wise, who's read
Fake
the Bible,
news,
can
yeah.
give you
Fake
advice.
news.
But to be fair,
He's out there doing mad things. You know what them man be doing?
Yeah,
Do you know
but-
what I mean?
but you know,
he's
I'm
the one
not
you're
saying I
confessing
speak to
to.
them,
I
but
know,
the
you're giving an
idea
argument.
But
is
it's giving you
yeah.
what the
listen,
idea
exactly.
is.
And to be fair, if you're looking at that person as a man of God and essentially your father in your spiritual walk, that's fine because that's someone who, like, with priests and pastors, they're like ordained. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
They're meant to go to school for it.
Exactly.
By who?
But
They're
like,
meant to- they're meant to
like,
go to
Ordained
school.
by who?
No.
I mean, essentially,
No, okay,
No,
so,
ordained by
okay,
who? Another
okay, no.
I'm just
No,
saying
but
that it's a
it's-
rabbit hole.
okay,
We
but
don't
I
go
get
down
it,
the
I get it,
rabbit
but
hole.
it's usually like I'm assuming it's gonna be like a board of other people who
But,
are either
okay,
Yeah,
That's what I'm
like,
saying.
usually they
Let's
go to
not be-
Bible school, they study.
Let's
these
not even
things.
go down the
Yeah.
rabbit hole, bro. If this guy is your quote unquote father,
Yeah.
for me, I believe I only had one father. But
Yeah.
I'll say he's also my
Same
father.
here. Yeah.
Why am I hiding? Why am I in a confessional?
It's
But
not-
I can't see him.
The thing is, I think the point of you not being able to see who it is because if you see who it is, then you're it's kind of like you're. I don't want to say.
I know why, but
it's
I
just
wanna
like
hear
it's
what
like
you're
you're
saying.
confessing to another human. Whereas if you can't see God, you can't see him. And if on the other side, you know, this is a man of God that's going to represent the way God would, I guess, take what
Do
I'm
you see why it's
confessing.
fake news now? Are you seeing it? The more you're talking,
No, but I
No,
don't-
but
I
you
don't-
know
I don't-
sometimes,
I
have you
don't
ever
think
told
that's just-
someone...
I don't think that's just.
concept,
I
though.
don't think that's
I
just
get
the main
your
reason.
concept,
I don't think
but
that's the
it
main
is
reason
mad.
though. I think the
No,
main
no.
reason why they do that because again, bro, people say are trying to. People have done some mad things.
Yeah.
And there's no judgment.
Where,
like,
imagine if I'm sitting here face to face looking at you, I might just not want to tell you.
Yeah.
And again, to your point, to a degree, like I'm talking to, but when you're like, the whole idea is meant to feel like you're in a room where you can't see this person, technically.
Yeah.
So
It's a
it's
dark
like,
room,
so I can kind of
fake
speak
news.
to you. I'm not saying.
I already know what
I'm
you're
on your
saying.
side,
I
but I
already
just
know
feel
what
it's
you're
more so
saying.
like make people
But
feel
all
more
those-
comfortable
doesn't make it
to
goes
be
against-
able to kind of
'Cause
let
you know that
out where,
shame sometimes
exactly,
when
the
you
shame.
go-
Yeah, I can just let this out.
bro.
Yeah,
Unless
yeah.
you're dumb, you know that it's the vicar, bro.
no,
No, but you're not seeing them. Wait, so you don't believe in like No, but I feel like there's a thing to do with eye contact. Like you might, if I'm sitting in front of you looking, I might not be able to tell you certain
Exactly.
things. The fact that you're here right now.
Exactly.
But if you're on this other side, I know you're there, but I can't see you. I can just tell you
anything,
and bearing in mind, I can just walk out. I know you're not gonna see me.
I imagine you've told the person you can see there, and then on Sunday you're in service.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
But you are gonna see them on service on
No,
Sunday.
but you don't
But
say
they
your
don't
name.
see
You
your
don't say nothing. They don't
face.
see your face. They don't know who you
Okay.
are.
And imagine
Your
I'm
father
telling
doesn't
you-
know who you are.
I mean, no, my man don't know who you are.
Exactly. And
No,
imagine
but he's your father.
No, he's not my
but
father.
listen, imagine you're telling him
His
a mad
father.
thing. Me?
Sorry, I'll leave it there. I don't want to.
Nah.
joking.
Imagine you're saying a mad thing.
You
yeah?
guys gonna get you lot cancelled by the Christians. I
I'm
don't know.
not.
No, I think it's a
I
whole
am
big conversation to
I
have,
am
though.
Christian, bro.
No,
Don't
you
get
know
me
that.
wrong.
The Christians are the most
Bro.
defensive people
No,
ever.
listen,
They're
listen.
gonna come for you.
Can I make this point?
It's a conversation.
Can I
Like,
make this point?
for us.
At the end of the day,
and if they
I am-
have different viewpoints, leaving the
I
comment.
am
Right.
Christian,
Right.
bro. Don't ever get it twisted. But my point is, we're quick to point out the flaws in African cultures, call them witchcraft.
Correct,
But there's
sir.
also flaws in other religions.
In
But
Christianity,
we
bro.
don't label them
In
anything.
Christianity,
And
bro.
do you know what
That's
that
what I'm
is?
saying.
Do you know what that is?
Facts.
It's all about control. That's what it
Yeah.
is.
Yes,
when
I
you
agree
think
with
about
you,
it,
bro. I agree.
if you know, this is the reason why when they put slaves on the ship to either South America, America, here, wherever, the reason why you take their names and you give them new names is because that's your identity you're erasing.
stripped.
Even though it might be as something surface level as your first and last name, if you look at all of our names now, yeah, we all know our Nigerian and Ugandan names and whatnot.
You can trace it back.
Exactly. You can trace it back even down to a meaning. You can trace, like, I'm not sure how it works in Uganda, and I don't know if it'll be different for Igbo culture. I doubt it will be. But with Yoruba names, especially with your last name, you can even trace back to where your family originated
Your
from.
village, yeah, that's
Do
what
you
you
know
can
I'm
trace it right
So
back.
it's the same thing where if you completely give someone else a new name, they don't even know where they're from. They don't know their history. They don't know anything that's gonna tie them back to it. So even though like us, we're like second generation or whatnot that are here in this country, it's still a thing where it's like everything that we're surrounded with. If we're gonna tell these people that still might have their parents back home, we're gonna say, oh, we're not really rocking with that. We're not really rocking with that. Da, da, da. It's easier for them to become more detached, and then the next generation that comes afterwards, they're gonna. It's kind of like what you were saying before in terms of who you marry. Then you sort of lose your tradition and lose your heritage and lose your
Before
culture.
you know it, yeah, you don't
then-
remember nothing.
Then you look 3-4 generations down the line, you're like, where do I even come from?
By the way, yeah, I hear it.
That's how it happens, unfortunately.
No, and that's what our brothers in America are struggling with because they don't have that identity. Obviously,
Yeah,
they've now created their own culture, but before that, imagine they kept the names.
Yeah.
No, keep going.
No,
Just
yeah, keep going.
close your
Yeah,
thoughts.
exactly.
close-
Okay, yeah. I'm done. That was my fault. Babe.
Okay.
That was it, yeah.
But I thought you was cooking something.
Was I cooking?
Yeah, he
Your
was on
brothers
your
in
way,
America,
he was on
you
your
know,
way.
so you can finish that,
I
I don't know
thought he
how
was
much
cooking
of
something.
an advocate Sukali was,
For what? For
for
what?
Africa.
Nah, Sukali
Bro,
does
I'm
this
a
thing.
He gets
Pan-Africanist.
triggered.
Yeah, it
bro.
does
I
it
do.
too.
Because I just don't like it when not you,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying
yeah.
in general, just so easy. Oh,
I
yeah,
agree
that's
with him,
witchcraft.
though. I'm on
That
his
could-
part.
And it's
Nah.
like, bro, like, who told you that's witchcraft?
Exactly.
Who taught you that that's witchcraft? And who told you that their way is the best way when they also do stuff that's questionable, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Think about actually, I don't.
Trust me, you're gonna get into this thing. You
I don't want to
wanna
get into
rabbit
it.
trails.
It's a very serious.
And
rabbit
because
trail.
I see our brothers here, they're on their journey.
Yeah, I know.
You understand? They're young.
I'm also on that same journey, by the way. I'm Christian. Please,
So am
don't
I.
get
So
twisted.
No,
we're- I think
We're all Christians,
for
yeah.
me personally, I'm just somebody that I know people don't care. A lot of people that just is what it is, take everything. But for me personally, if I'm saying I'm having faith and I'm putting my whole life into this thing, I only have one life.
Praise God.
I would try my best to try and just continue to find and look for answers to certain things that just doesn't make sense.
100%.
I don't think personally, like, even if you're telling me, like, I've read the Bible, if you're telling me God is somebody that tells you you should not worship false idol,
Yeah.
and anybody that's following something blindly, you're also just as much to blame. So that, to me, that's a God that wants you to ask questions,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because most time when you speak to some of these
Speak on it.
pastors or people that's meant to have stuff, they'll tell you, "Oh, no, just believe
Just
in that."
believe.
And
Yeah.
no, bro, this doesn't make sense to me. Can somebody explain this, right?
Yeah.
And I'm saying, like, for me, we all grew up. I grew up in church. I know for these guys.
I
So
was
for
an
me,
altar boy.
exactly my point. I was a drummer in church. Like, so for me, it's like, I know what all of that is, and I know where my faith lies. However, there's just certain things you get older now. You're thinking,
100%.
this does not make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense.
Can somebody either a page has been ripped out of this thing, or something has been manipulated
Don't get
somewhere?
me into the missing books
But
of the
can
Bible,
somebody I know. But I know. But
I don't want to take this one there.
I'm
Let's
just
not
giving
take it
people.
there.
But it's like, but I know.
Enoch and that.
Yeah,
bro,
But
Book
I
of
just know
Giants,
for the
bro.
fact that like something is not missing here, and they've not even spent the time to try and word it in a way to make it make sense. They've just ripped out the page and left it that way. So certain things here look like should have an answer. So it's just for me just wanting to know. And I feel like the more you kind of know, the stronger your faith is. The more you're being told, no, don't worry about that, the more there's going to be that voice. Because at the end of the day, I believe we all have God within us. We're all God in a way, right? We're building His image, right? So you're always going to have that voice in your mind telling you, yo, nah, you need to find out what that is. So
100%.
No, sometimes I just be like,
Sorry, we took it.
No, it was a good conversation.
I'm pretty sure you have a lot more. This started off of traditional marriage.
Sorry, literally.
My bad.
Sorry, guys.
Like that, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to be up to date with all of our releases. And tune into the whole episode now on Spotify and Apple.